one of the things that I was so surprised about and really encouraged about was the amount of people that in that first episode, just like that little bit, I don't think we spent 5 or 10 minutes talking about, the purpose and relationships and things like that. That time on that episode really encouraged people, several people, a couple people like, hey man, I needed to hear what you said today. And I'm like, what?
This is about control. Everybody knows. Everyone complies. We're the kinds of pros. I don't need a plane. I just hit the road. I do what I want. I can't sell my soul. Market about to crash. This is what you chose. Ruining the country. I think that's the goal. You gonna take the mark. I take narrow roads. I'm a man of God. I can never fold.
Welcome to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, where we talk whiskey, business, friends, family, and freedom.
Booyah.
And the purpose for all. Thanks. I'm your host, Matt Marchese, and this is my esteemed colleague and co-host, not guest host, Zach, the Graybeard Grady.
That doesn't even hurt, dude.
No.
Distinguished.
I'm
a distinguished gentleman.
Yeah. It is very mature.
Covers that butt chin.
Which is my next and last episode's dig. So stay tuned. That's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
You stole that. And of course, my wife is here today.
Hello.
Welcome, babe. Glad to have you.
Glad to have you in the house with me, like always.
Well, the truth is, we're glad to have you on this episode because...
Hold on, we need to pour.
Yeah.
We need to pour.
Yeah. Zach, what are we drinking today? Let's
All
go.
Right, so, today...
I can't wait to talk about that, by the way. Sorry for the interruption.
Today, we're going to bust out the Blantons. But if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, Ian, where can they find it?
They can find us on YouTube at Protect Your Purpose and on Spotify, Protect Your Purpose Podcast.
Ooh, yeah, we're on Spotify now.
That's right.
We're in the big leagues.
I better stop saying the F word. It's official now.
Fuck it.
It's fucking official now.
That's
right.
Official. But if you were liked and subscribed and commented on the video last time, right? Was that the Matt so kindly gave away $100 to Tara, correct?
Yeah.
Tara won
McGuire.
$100 and a bottle of Eliza Craig 18 year to Wayne. Do we know Wayne's last name?
Yes.
Ian does.
Reed.
Yep.
Wayne Reed. Congratulations.
Yep.
Yes.
And Wayne is one of Ian's. So we were giving stuff away last minute. Wait, I'm off.
You won it.
I'm off already. Yes, I actually won.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Those who
if you didn't catch the live stream, Matt gave it away on live. But we're doing it again this Friday. So if you're listening to this and you're not subscribed, subscribe. Tell somebody about it. Get more subscriptions so Matt can give away more stuff. So this week, another $100.
Yep.
And a bottle of Blanton's.
Yes.
Which we're going to drink and tell you how delicious it is.
Yeah, let's go.
So if you want to win some whiskey, if you want to win some money, like and subscribe.
I love it. Yeah. And comment.
Oh, there you go.
Do they have? So last week we did. Yeah, pour me some of that when you can. Actually, I was going to drink some of that EC18.
You want the EC18?
Yeah, do that. I mean, they're both really good.
I'll take the Blantons.
I'll do the Blantons too.
Yeah,
Why open it?
Stop being difficult.
Sorry.
Oh, is that
So
too much? Sorry.
The last week.
Sorry.
It's all right. Last week we gave away the EC18 and the $100. I last minute.
So cool, dude. So cool you did that.
Yeah, well, I kind of got nervous the night before, or 2 days. I think it was the night before, and I was like, "Shit, I don't know if anyone's gonna listen. I better give some shit away, make myself feel better." So I did that. So then I launched it out, but not a whole lot of people got had any time to reaction time to get on. So what we did was we had to you had to comment while it was live. I don't know if we're gonna do that. No, I don't. We are gonna do that.
He's shaking his head.
No. So I don't think we're going to do that that requirement.
Just listen,
You just have to listen, comment on the first day.
There'll be a 24-hour timer.
24-hour timer. You got to listen on the first day, 24 hours from the premiere. Give some people time to enter the drawing. Hopefully it will be more than just my family and my friends and
we found out last time that it was more people that watched. We didn't know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that how it worked?
Officially, I think now, yeah.
Yeah.
60%.
So we've got more people that didn't know us and didn't follow our link and that came from the organic YouTube algorithms and us keeping up the views, I guess, got that out there. So great response on that. So anyway, subscribe, follow us, get in touch for some more giveaways in the future. I didn't realize that would be. I should have realized that would be my favorite part. It's what I fucking love to do. I love giving shit away. Part. Right. So I got kind of, when I was doing the live, I kind of got emotional. I felt like Lindy because I was like, this is so cool. Like I get to give shit away and stuff that means a lot to people. I mean, a couple $100.
And if they'll learn, but if people knew how passionate you were about your whiskey in general and how much joy you get sharing it, I think it would mean even more. So
yeah, for sure.
I know how much it meant for you to give it away.
Well, I tried to when I talked to the whiskey recipient, Reed, that I tried to explain to him on the short phone call, which we recorded, I think, so maybe we'll put that out at some point. But cool. I tried to explain to him, that this is from my personal collection.
Yeah, it's not just some random bottle of whiskey bought at the store.
Yeah, like I just decided last minute that I'm going to give away one of my favorite bottles to somebody. But he definitely sounded like he was going to be a great recipient of it and was a whiskey guy and was super appreciative. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it made it even better, giving it away. And Ian knew him personally. So kind of hit home. But I am looking forward to the other end of this where we get to give away shit to strangers. Like that's going to be even more fucking dope.
Yes.
Kind of a different element. So anyway, wanted to hop into feedback from our last episode. So we had tons of feedback. What?
I said tons.
Yeah.
Lindy's going to cry. Lindy's going to cry for
she's
sure.
Already crying. Yeah. Lots of
it was
feedback.
so cool. So cool,
Yeah,
dude.
we had lots of messages and we kind of shared the feedback with everybody else or with each other, and it was a lot of people came back with what we should do and what we should do better and what we should keep, and
which is awesome. Like we're 2.5 episodes in right now. So if anybody knows anything or has a pointer that you didn't mention, bring it on, man. Yeah. We're all ears right now.
Absolutely. I had one of my buddies, Steve, went and tell me, I was like, you need to listen to my podcast. First of all, you shithead, you haven't listened to it. Second of all, like, I need feedback. I don't know how to run a fucking podcast. Like, he's Mr. Analytical. He wants to analyze and chop everything up. Now's your time. He responds, you don't want my feedback. And I'm like, yes, I do. So to your point, like, be
good
harsh.
or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was something that didn't hit, let us know. Yeah.
And we had, so I don't know all of the feedback that each of you got, but I had kind of a really great blend. I mean, people were nicer than not nice, but I had some pretty good like criticisms and constructive feedback on, talking over each other and finding our flow and some ideas for future shows. Like I had some really great feedback, like critical feedback. And then I had just a lot of, dude, I'm so
awesome.
Yeah.
Happy for you.
Happy for
Killed
you.
It. Yeah.
Shit like that.
It was awesome.
most of mine were, don't ever lose your emotions. Always be yourself. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You asked for it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had a friend of Lindy's family, who I won't say, but she reached out. She had some really good feedback for me on Lindy's kind of emotion and dealing, presenting her from a woman's standpoint. Which was kind of cool for me to hear. I don't know that. I mean, thanks. I don't know if I'm going to be able to control my fucking outbursts at the right time, but it was great feedback. Nonetheless, great feedback. We'll see if I can please everybody. That ain't going to happen, especially my mom, my mother, and a few. So I had like,
sorry, Mama Marchese.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. We had, I had some good feedback from a lot of people on a lot of different things, but I had about a split decision on feedback on me and the F-bomb.
Yep.
Not a split decision. I had like 2 people say maybe cuss a little less or swear a little less. And of course, my mom was one of them. It was wonderful, Matt. You did so good, but you say the F word a lot. Sorry, Mom.
That'll be a battle forever.
Yeah, well.
I've told you that since I've known you.
Yeah, I think obviously one of our main goals was authenticity. So I think if you didn't cuss, people would be like,
right.
Matt's
putting on an act.
Yeah,
Everybody who
Matt's
knows
putting an act on for the camera.
Knows that is not an act. The F word comes out of his mouth more than probably any other word. So
yeah, for sure.
He's more passionate. I think the F word means more passion comes out of you.
I think
we
so,
talked
too.
about it before. It also means he's probably super dumb.
Say that again? That's not the fucking... Well, all right. So there's some truth to this.
Intelligence.
Listen, here, so we have talked about this. So here's the deal. I don't know how to talk without, like, I don't have like a super great vocabulary. So where, these super articulate people have all these magic words to show and express their passion and their commitment and their passion, their excitement.
Fucking passion.
Fuck, man. I don't know. I just throw an F word in there and y'all get it.
It's a filler word.
It's a filler word. So yeah. So
You're not dumb, Matt.
no. Well, to an extent, like I'm done. I don't have it. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Fuck it.
I love you. Sorry. Don't show your friends. Okay, they're probably
Don't tell the church group.
Yeah, they're right. Don't tell the Knights. They're probably not They're probably not our.
Might not be our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or we won't be their cup of tea.
They're not exactly our target market, and you know what I'm saying. But anyway, we got lots of feedback, and it was awesome. Just the engagement from family and friends and strangers, and all of the feedback was like, I'm talking hundreds of comments and across platforms and text messages, group chats.
Dude,
my
and
employees,
as I'm sure you guys were, I was like super nervous, like right before it. So I'm like, how many is there going to be? Like us 3, 4 watching it? Like it's just like, but Ian's the algorithm guy, and he was talking about at that point. I think we had like 100 some followers, and we had like subscribers. Thank you.
Get
subscribers.
It
don't fuck that up, bro.
Subscribers. Act like you've been there. This is our second episode. Jesus.
That's great. Yeah, subscribers.
But we had like 25%, give or take, watching the entire time. It was a relief.
It was really awesome. Yeah.
It was a relief.
And then since then, we've got hundreds and hundreds of views on a, and to be clear, like I'm not claiming that it's some big bad, like we were at 0.
No, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say.
Like,
thank you, everybody who said something.
It's so badass that we were able to have that many people stay engaged for as long as we did, coming from 0. And to Zach's point, like it's a testament to our friends and the algorithms, I guess, worked in our favor. So it looks like so I think the way that works is we put out engaging enough content to where people stuck around for a little while. And if the algorithms notice that people are sticking around, then they're like, hey, this is good for business. This is good for revenue. So great job to you two. You, honey, that's why people are here.
It's you guys. I'm just the commentary guy in the corner.
You're the comedian.
Which
I don't know about that, but
by the way, we've got it on one of these. I think it's actually our next topic, but what we wanted to talk about was speaking of Lindy and dragging down views. So this is episode 2.5. So we had our pilot episode, and then we did another one,
which you alluded to. You put it on Facebook, right?
Oh yeah. Dude, it was a bomb anyway. So yeah, I put it out there that we were like shooting it, and people are, oh, cool content. When's that coming? Boo.
It's
so,
not.
It isn't coming. This is it. Next Friday. So basically, so as I kind of said at the beginning of the pilot, episode 1 is what we're calling that. We've got several formats that we're going to do. We've got interviews, and we had another section called It's the Whiskey Talkin'. And Zach and I attempted that. And basically after 1 hour of fucking boring ourselves half to
So
sleep.
we brainstormed this though, which is even more embarrassing.
God,
we
it
brainstormed
sucked.
ahead of time, like, how are we going to do this? Because initially we wanted to introduce whiskey to maybe people that aren't as familiar.
Right.
So we did all this research. Well, I did a lot of research building this, stuff to talk about. And we're like nodding off in the middle of it. Just
we bored ourselves.
we bored ourselves. We all hung up the headphones and we're like, dude, that sucked.
That was awful. Like yawning. Like that is never going to...
I just got a quick 20-minute snooze in during it. Like, it was bad.
Immediately.
So you're welcome for not putting that out into the universe.
Oh, yeah. No, it was...
Maybe you cut a couple of clips out of it that...
Maybe not. But...
Probably not. Probably not.
Ian's giving me a finger of 4, so I'm guessing he got 4 clips out of it.
Listen,
we talked for an hour and a half and we got 4 usable clips.
It wasn't like it wasn't People, I've had several people like message me, dude, send me that. I want to see the bloopers, use it. And I'm like, no, you don't understand.
It wasn't even bloopers.
It was just fucking awful. Like, it was boring as shit. It was like Ben Stein giving
the dry eye guy.
Yeah, win my Ben Stein's money.
He's the dry eye guy.
Clear eyes. Drink some whiskey.
Do you want to?
So the bottom line is
The information was great.
The info
was
was
just
great.
super boring.
Yeah,
Super boring. So
as soon as
what
we
came
wrapped,
from that though is like like a third person has to. Lindy needs to be there to add something.
Yeah.
And also nobody wants to stare at our ugly mugs for an hour.
Well, listen. So Lindy,
Lindy brings our attractiveness level up.
Yes,
as a whole, the average.
So Lindy, we've got, again, we're working on the formats. There's some value here for some viewers. So you said something about clips and what did we get out of it? Here's what we got out of it. We got out of it a learning experience for us.
That's right.
We were able to quickly analyze what we had done and quickly, I mean, from the editing station where Ian is watching the podcast through the screen, he didn't hesitate to give his, feedback and constructive criticism. We basically were like, yep, didn't have to tell us. We felt it. But we were quickly able to pivot, scratch that shit, make it a learning experience and move the fuck on, which is valuable not only to us on our journey, but to our listeners. That's one of the whole purposes of us doing this, this podcast was to kind of showcase the process of the podcast, starting from Ian making a video on the build out and how it could be kind of a fun family experience. And then to show people like, it doesn't matter. Suck it up, swallow your damn pride, go out there.
You're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and to show people.
Right.
But we did have fun doing it and we learned from it. And hopefully our listeners and our subscribers and viewers will listen to and be like, all right, well, that's normal as shit. I'm telling you right now, Joe Rogan did the same thing. The Two Bears guys did the same thing. Frisella does the same thing. All of these podcasters are doing the same thing. You go out, you put out some shit content as long as you're like, well, that was shit. Not going to put that out. Now, what do we got to do to fix it? So anyway, there's some value there.
Yeah, we recognized it.
Quick. And you are welcome.
If you're waiting, don't.
Yeah. So Lindy will be on as often as we can get her on because as we quickly realize she's fucking better than us.
I'm not better. I just add my 2 cents in here and there, but I just sit here and go like this the whole time.
You're more likable though, I think.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Nobody likes
gray
that.
beard. It's not even all the way gray.
I like how Matt got compliments on his voice.
Oh, he
lots
has
of those.
Here's where I could chime in.
Let's go.
He has had people come up to him because of his voice for years since I've known
really?
him. There was one girl.
It's weird.
I won't say where
You
we
should be
were.
Strip club.
You should be a podcaster? Or
We were
what
at
do
a
they
strip
say
club.
about your voice?
I've been told that I have a
girl-
face for radio. I've been told.
This girl came up and said, "Is that your real voice?"
She was a stripper.
Yeah. She was.
I'm not going to say where it is.
So she
I'm
was
going
trying to get money from you.
No, she literally, she came over. We were with a group of people. I was actually, oh man, yeah, not going to say that. Not going to talk about the group that I was with, but we were with a group of people, close friends. And we were heading out for a flight in the morning. So it was just kind of like, we've got an hour to burn. There's a strip club right there. Let's go do that.
As you do.
Yeah. So we had just gotten there and it was, chick came over and asked for drinks. Oh no, because it was a stripper. Anyway, she came over and she asked me if I wanted. Oh no, she was pouring because we had bottle service. She was pouring the drink and she was like, "What do you want?" And I said something and she was like, "Is that your real voice?" She thought I was like I was doing an act.
Yes, I will take a brandy, please.
What does that mean? Yes, that's my real
not the
voice.
only time it's happened.
So
There's been-
that's probably
all the
good.
time.
You're the host and you're talking the most instead of my whiny ass voice on this microphone.
Oh yeah, you do kind of got a little bitch voice. Yeah, squeak.
Which I've also been told my entire life.
You also have a little bitch.
My
voice.
wife makes fun of me all the time.
Yeah,
so.
you're kind of. You got your muscles though. Good thing because if
not
not,
so much, but
you're kind of girly.
I can't even argue with it. I own it, dude. I'll own it. That's fine.
So we did a what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
She was going to agree with you. That's
Listen, part of the feedback was let Lindy talk. So if Lindy makes a move to talk, I'm shutting. Another part of the
You've
feedback.
done well so far.
Thanks, babe. Another part of the feedback.
You're learning. You're learning.
Was we'll get our cadence down and our flow, but was for the listeners, specifically the ones that are just AirPods or in their car, they're not watching the video. To do our best to not talk over each other, which is fucking hard enough for me.
Very hard to do.
I don't even have that. But more so for the listeners, they don't know who is who and who's talking, and it gets kind of fumbled. So we're all working on that. But when Lindy goes to speak,
Everybody shuts
How do they
up.
not?
you shut the fuck up. You listen to Lindy speaking.
We just talked about our distinguished voices. You know who's fucking talking.
Right. How are you? I sound like Froggy.
We do not sound alike.
25-year smoker.
Yeah. I sound like I've been smoking
Marble
for...
menthol.
You know which one's me. It's the one smoking cigars and drinking whiskeys.
Yeah, I got that voice.
Soon. We'll get the cigars soon.
Can you imagine if I was a smoker if I had this voice in my 20s and then if I was like 70?
Like a 20, yeah.
I'd be one of those guys talking like this thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's throat cancer, I'm pretty sure. But
Well, whatever. Anyway.
Esophageal.
Oh, yeah, esophageal cancer. So there was a couple things we wanted to chat about. I put out there. Lindy put it out there. I'm not sure if you did, but we had, you did. We had some questions. Kind of on a what should we answer? What does the audience want to hear? And a couple people told me that they know what we did, but the listeners might want to know what we do for a living. So I figured we'll fire off with that here. Zach, you want to lead us off on what you do for what it is you do?
what have
to
I
earn
been
your
doing?
money?
So, I've been in the Army for 20 years. Been in a mix of recruiting and retention for 14, 15 years? 16. 2006.
Can you even
16
count
years.
that as military service at this point?
Yeah, because you hear people like infantry and you're like, well, I was a recruiter for 16 years.
19 deployments.
But what's cool is that's how we all got acquainted.
That's right.
Acquainted?
Acquainted.
Yeah, that's how we met. Because me and Lindy worked together in Lincoln.
In 2006. No. I'm sorry, 2008.
9, somewhere around there. So now, I'm in Army retention, responsible for re-enlisting these fine men and women that serve our country.
Oof.
Yeah, tough sell sometimes, but that's what I do for at least 2 more years.
Oof.
And then I'll probably be crashing on your couch and living with you.
Hey man, maybe the podcast will be enough to move you right on into when do you retire?
October 24.
24. You got some time. Hey man. Well, October 24, that's right around when we'll be hitting 1 million followers. Or subscribers.
Well, we put that out into the universe, so it's gonna happen.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna do that. Well, we're gonna do that with the help of you folks, and hopefully we bring some valuable content and some good shit for people to talk about. That's another thing. Not to go back a block or a segment, but one of the things that I was so surprised about and really encouraged about was the amount of people that in that first episode, just like that little bit, I don't think we spent 5 or 10 minutes talking about, the purpose and relationships and things like that. That time on that episode really encouraged people, several people, a couple people like, hey man, I needed to hear what you said today. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's dope.
For sure.
Like on episode 1, that's really, it's something that Ian and we've all talked about. Like, hopefully we can help people. That's the goal. But we didn't think it'd be that fast.
No.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Super dope.
Anyway, so Army, you're a couple years out from retirement. It's been a long haul. I'll say a little bit about Zach's career. He's also been a really badass MFer in the Army. He's won Soldier of the Year stuff. He goes to boards. He gets a perfect score on his PT test, every PT test. Model soldier, the best in his business, better than Lindy by a long shot. Which she'll tell you what she does in a second. But Not only has Zach served his country here overseas, in and out of recruiting and retention, which is one of the hardest jobs. You know, it's a different battle.
Deployment.
Yeah, it's their own deployment. And he's been at it for a long time, put a lot of boots in the Army, and has truly served his role in our country. So,
thanks, Matt.
yeah,
Appreciate
for sure,
that.
dude. I believe in what you did and what you're doing. So, even though right now I do not believe in what they're doing and what they did,
It's going south. For sure.
it's going south. But hey, man, we got to keep it positive anyway. Honey, tell us what you do for a living.
I do the same that
Say
he does.
ditto.
Same career, same everything he does. No,
Our careers have 100% mirrored each other.
we have
so-
literally, yeah. I mean, besides my Memphis stint with recruiting, we have been together the whole time. And we went from recruiting for however many years and then to
in Lincoln.
retention. Yep.
And then we moved to Sioux City together.
Yep. So our timelines have almost mirrored each other. So, but a lot of you that are watching don't know that me and Matt actually met in Kuwait on our deployment in 2003. And we'll go more into that maybe later on down the road. But that's where we met. And I have also been in the Army 21 years. Last March was 21 years, I think. Anyways, so I'm about to retire as well, going through some shit that I won't talk about until I retire. But after I retire,
choice, probably.
Yeah,
She's going through some shit that I will talk about before she retires. So I can assure you of
I
that.
will keep my mouth shut.
And
He
I will
unfortunately
not.
will not.
No, man, fuck that shit. I'll keep it in line.
But once I retire, I have found a new love with Verbo and Airbnb, whatever. We put our first house up on the website and have had several renters. It's a lot of fun getting prepared for it, going shopping to, make sure that their stay is awesome. I've had a blast.
Here's what happened. We got into the short-term rental business with our other house. We'll tell that story too. But Lindy found a love for spending money to decorate a house that she has been forbidden to decorate since the moment we lived in it.
Yeah. You guys move out and make it livable.
Right. And then pleasing the shit out of people for the benefit
As she does.
Right. As she did. Like Lindy found the perfect shit for her.
I get to meet. I've already met. Actually, I have a funny story. Actually, it wasn't the first. It was like the second or third message that I ever got about someone that was interested in renting our Verbo. And so I was all excited, and it was probably 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, Matt, we got a message. This guy wants to know if our pool will be open mid-October. And so I started responding, and I guess I got attention deficit and lost track in my Siri or whatever it was, voice. It started recording me. And
Oh, God. Where is this
I
going?
said, good evening, sir. Yes, our pool will be open, and I cannot wait to pop poop.
And it's sent.
So,
And then she makes up a whole fucking
fantastic.
story. So for a little bit of fucking
So hold on. Is he going to rent it?
perspective.
Or did he even respond?
So, and then she goes into, for a little background here, perspective on where we weren't talking about popping poop. Like, it was just some random ass words that came out. So
I'm not even
Lindy-
sure what that would mean.
Bro, Lindy goes and makes up a backstory to make sense of pop poop. She's like,
Oh,
So
my
nervous.
I'm sorry, we were talking to my toddler and we were talking about a poopy mind you, we don't have a toddler, okay? There's no poopy diaper. We're not talking about
all
popping
you say
poop.
is oops, autocorrect.
Right.
that's what I ended up.
Everybody knows you just say auto.
She creates a backstory.
She types this whole fucking thing out, and I'm like, babe, why? She was like, I don't know. I didn't want him to think that I was. I'm like, oh, babe, just say autocorrect. Haha, sorry. And then type what you were trying to say.
Dude,
I
the funniest
ultimately-
autocorrect I ever had. I don't even remember the conversation, but somebody meant to text me kicking ass and taking names, and it came back fucking ass and taking names. Oh my goodness. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
that's great.
That might have
Anyways.
been what it was.
So
it's too good.
that is
That's
my
hilarious.
next endeavor, and I cannot wait. So if you're ever looking for a home on a golf course with a pool, come check out the Party Pad.
In Omaha, Nebraska.
In Omaha.
That's
Ooh,
great.
was that a
It has to
shameless
be.
plug?
That was a shameless plug. Sorry.
Love it.
Fuck it. Yeah.
But we'd love
It's
to
your
have you.
podcast. Do what you want.
Yeah, whatever. Actually, dude, mention the pod. I got an idea. Mention the podcast, and we'll give you a 10% discount on a stay.
Ooh.
How's that?
Ooh.
Can we do that? I think
Hashtag
why not?
Protect Your Purpose
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
and Party Pad.
You mention the podcast at the time of your booking, and I'll give you a 10% stay, and that's good for any stay for anybody listeners for the rest of the year.
Because that's a normal sentence.
For anybody listeners. I told you I didn't have a good enough vocabulary to do this
You didn't
shit.
drop an F-bomb.
It's because you're not using the word fuck.
Listen, good news, I believe in myself because I gave myself an opportunity because nobody else would give me an opportunity because I can't speak because I speak like I can't speak, I just fumble. All right, so to wrap up the sentence that I just tried to say, and failed miserably, was that deal. So I've got to put like an expiration date on that. Like anyone who mentions the podcast in the in their request for information for a booking up until the end of the year, I will give them a 10% discount on. What do you think? Boom.
Perfect.
Pretty solid deal.
I think so too. I mean, 10%, dude, some of
It's
the
a lot
bookings
of
are going to
money.
be, I mean, it's a big house. So, I mean, you're talking it could save, depending on,
Sleeps.
yeah, I mean, it could save $500. Like, that's a pretty big giveaway. It's a pretty big deal. All right.
Look
so,
at us giving all the things
Boom.
away.
Adding value.
You get
to this.
10% and you get 10%.
Boom. Yeah. I
If
think
we could
that's
drop
cool.
an Oprah reference every time.
Every episode?
I think we did the first one too.
Thank God Lindy's back to remind us to give shit away and do Oprah stuff. Anyway, all right. So Lindy has a new career. She's been in the Army for, as she said, 21 years. Super patriotic. Anyone who is listening to this that knows Lindy knows that literally the national anthem makes her cry. There's no way Lee Greenwood can come on the radio without crying.
Just thinking about it.
The sight of the American flag. Sometimes.
Am I getting her?
Yeah, here she goes. She joined the. Ian is pointing at the. Use your words, Ian.
Pledge allegiance.
Oh, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge. What do you want me to say about the Pledge of Allegiance?
Do you want him to recite
I
it?
just thought it was a good spot to bring up that story.
Oh, that is. I see what you're saying. Sorry,
the story?
I'm bad at like cues.
Cues.
And,
I'm bad at giving them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was like pointing to the corner.
I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I don't know. Is my shoe untied again? I don't understand.
That doesn't matter right
Shit.
now.
Yeah, why do you care? Ian, all right, funny story. Ian brought me this really awesome sign. It's right over there.
So Ian wanted you to talk about
It's
how
the
great
pledge.
he is.
No, I fucking was hanging it up in the studio. I put it over the door so I can look up and fucking America, be reminded of. So I take the pledge as a different meaning than I think the way it's taught. Like when you say I pledge allegiance, like think about if you were to say like I pledge allegiance to a god, like I pledge allegiance to a group, like I pledge allegiance to a cult. Okay. Pledging allegiance means like I pledge, I'm committing the pledge, my allegiance to this, which, I thought was really awesome that Ian got it for me. He got it for me as a gift for our pilot
Swell
podcast.
guy.
Yeah, for the studio. He's a sweet guy. He brought my
got me
wife flowers.
flowers.
Yeah, sweet
Beautiful.
Jinx.
guy. Good. Damn it. Two
You guys
jinxes.
are doing it again.
You just keep jinxing us and then we're stuck. What if we did do jinx on a podcast and it was just silence?
Great for audio.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
really good. Anyway, so Ian bought me this thing. I tried to hang it. It's in a nice glass frame. Hung it above the door. I hung it with one of those like sticky things. And as we were doing it, this is terrible, stupid fucking story. As we were doing it, it kind of peeled off, and I caught it. I was still up on the chair, and Ian was like, "You shouldn't do that." So I went and got a new sticky thing, stuck it up. Expected a different outcome, walked away, and fucking
Insanity.
5 minutes later, fucking crashes on the floor. So now Ian's beautiful gift has no glass. Helps out with the lighting, though. There's no glare. You can see it better.
Still looks good.
And the fucking pledge. pledge allegiance to
The
that
words
flag.
mean the same thing. Glass
Pledge
on the
allegiance to the United States. That's what we all do anyway. So Lindy has had a hell of a career. Not quite the accomplishments of Zach, but has no. I'm kidding.
Just trying to survive.
Lindy also
Always
has served in, as she mentioned, or as Zach mentioned, in a very similar, almost mirror image of Zach's career. Lindy's lived same career. Less Soldier of the Year stuff, though, for sure. Less hua hua.
Less accolade. We already talked about last podcast, though. That
We did?
My love language is receiving that words of
Oh, yeah.
affirmation.
And hers is not.
And
Hers is giving
not.
shit away, making other people
So I
happy.
wanted to win and defeat everybody. Lindy just wanted to smile, and
That's right.
Yep. Wanted everyone else to.
she wanted everybody.
But an
to
amazing career she has served, and it's coming to an end. And they are now
Praise God.
fucking with her a little bit on not only the vaccine front, which we'll get into. I think we've got that on like the C block of this thing. But
I was going to say,
if we get to it.
you didn't talk about what your
Oh, yeah. All right. So thanks. See, I've had several people also shocked that I have a co-host. And I think that's because people are like, you're going to give someone else.
somebody else
Right.
speak.
You're going to give someone else the chance to talk.
Believe me, I've been around Matt with plenty of rants, so I know when to jump in and when to let him go.
I told you, man. I heard Priscilla say it the other day. I've been saying this shit for years. It's just how I talk. I mean, right?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Well, Lindy's been through even more.
Oh, my poor wife. I know.
Yeah.
People.
Poor
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I got nailed
Poor
it.
me, everybody. Poor me.
For real though, she has to listen like on a regular. Can you fucking imagine?
No, I'd divorce you for sure.
I'd divorce me. Yeah, she has to listen, and I don't know. I guess I go into moods where I'm like, I'm in focus mode, and then.
Well, the worst thing is
But it's always.
when we're at
She's
a
about to put you on
restaurant
blast right now.
or
yeah.
anywhere out in public. At the gym, even we'll just be sitting. This morning, here's how I felt. He was literally we were just.
You
talking.
get on a rant in public.
Just
He
I know
was-
what she's gonna say.
He was just going on a rant about some army stuff, and he was, going like this about the army and throwing his hands up in the air. And I truly felt like everyone around us thought he was screaming or yelling at me when he's just passionate.
He's just talking with his hands.
yes.
a
I'm
Like,
like, babe,
lot. So somebody's looking out the window and Matt's going like this.
Bro, so two things.
And everyone's like, oh my, we
like,
got a
babe,
domestic situation
yes,
going on.
put your
right now.
arms down.
So two things. Yes, that's what she'll she'll look at me, dead square eyes, and be like, "Those people behind you think you're gonna hit me." Like those people behind you think, "Can you hug me or kiss me or smile or something?" Because those people are concerned for my safety.
It's just literally a story about someone else.
Right. About somebody that's not even there, somebody I don't give a shit about. So that's number one, is this is a frequent thing. So I'm very familiar. I knew she's going to say. Number two, this happened to Ian the other day. We were at Pickleman's and I was talking about our goals. And some girl, Ian was like, you just scared that girl behind you. She thinks we're about to fight. You're going to hit me because of your level. And I'm like, oh, sorry, honey. I'm just talking to him. I'm just talking about whatever the fuck I said.
We have to tell our kids that all the time.
As people
They'll
would
just
say
be
in public when
going
they're
on and
beating
on,
people at home.
just talking to me, telling me what happened today or what I should say about something, and he's, passionate and blah, blah, blah. And Cora will
My
look
poor
up
daughter.
look up at us.
She's
He's
like,
"I'm
"Are you
not-
gonna hit
I'm
Mom?"
not yelling at mommy. I'm just telling a story.
Yeah.
She'll learn."
So the flip side of that, so here's the truth is, so this is so fucked up and it's so weird and awkward because I don't yell at you. If I were to get mad at you, like I don't even get mad at you. There's nothing to get mad at you for. You just
How?
get mad at me. Yeah.
How?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, well, if I were to get mad at you, and I'm like, what? No, if I get mad at you, it's just because you're chewing your cereal too loud and I've just got to walk
But
away.
I think that most people, oh, geez. My wife does the same thing to me. Yeah, you and Jordan are
ASMR.
so much alike. It's unbelievable.
That's true.
But I think that's why everybody was so excited when you decided to start a podcast, because the people that know you are like, oh, fuck, give Matt a mic. Yeah, let's hear what this
Yes.
guy has to say. In a good way, because you are passionate. You are authentic. This is great for you, man. This is good stuff.
We'll see,
Couldn't
bro.
agree more. So now people that know us know
But
that.
other than verbally assault your wife in public,
What do I do?
What do you do?
Well, and this is how the season will go. Are we going to do seasons? Season 1? Yeah, fuck yeah. So this is season 1, episode
How long's a season?
2.5 because remember I don't know. We're going to have to
Yeah, we are
that.
calling it 2.5 because we're counting the one we did.
Oh,
We
yeah.
wasted time doing it for sure.
Fuck yeah.
But I wouldn't say waste.
And you got 4 clips out of
I
it.
think a year. I think a season should be a year.
A year.
Okay. I like that. All right. So season 1, episode 2. Oh, I like that. But it's going to be more bullshit for me to keep track of.
Yeah.
You keep track of the seasons. I'll keep track of...
Whatever you
I'll try and keep track of the conversation. So, ADD AF is what the podcast should be called. The ADD AF instead of the real AF. You know?
I get it. Thanks.
Yeah, you see what I did? Anyway, all right, what do I do for a living? I would use the term serial entrepreneur, but I hate that term. I don't hate people that say it because I know people that say it and people are trying to like compliment me when they say it. I don't know that it's really true, but I also hate the term.
I can see why you would hate it though, because it seems like lack of commitment almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it is. That's what a serial entrepreneur is most of the time. Like somebody who isn't willing to commit to what they have, which is sometimes the case. Like I get bored.
It's not that
easily.
you don't commit though.
No.
You're still committing to what you have. You just want more.
I get bored, so I add to it. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I'm not a serial entrepreneur, but I do have. I do run businesses for a living. Some people will say that I'm retired.
But you just keep starting shit. So.
Some people would say that other people run your businesses for you.
Some people would say that I'm a business owner. So I'm not super involved in most of the day-to-days on my businesses, but I've got my primary business, as I call it, is my restoration business. And now I have, as of very recently, I have a second primary business. Used to be kind of a hobby that was in the works. And now we have the whiskey business. So I do fire and water restoration.
You're mentioning whiskey.
And speaking of, so this is the EC18 that we gave away. It's not actually the same batch.
Mr. Reed's going to find out how
or
delicious
barrel.
it is.
Mr. Reed's going to find out how delicious it is. And I don't know how that one tastes that he got because it's from a different barrel, or a different batch. So, anyhow, I run Serve Pro. It's a fire and water restoration business. We're actually gearing up today. You won't hear it. Well, by the time you hear this, we'll probably be in Florida. We do Hurricane
Ian.
disaster. Yeah, Hurricane Ian.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, Ian on the scene and coming up the coastline. Hurricane Ian. We do fire and water restoration, flood damage, storm disaster recovery and relief. Super awesome field to be in. It's great. I work for.
I was employed for a 12-hour period overnight one time.
That's right. Sometimes my friends and family members, when we're in a pinch, get recruited into disaster relief as well when there's floods, and usually that's in the middle of the night, so sorry, man. But anyway, I do that. So I've got Serve Pro franchises. I've got 8 Serve Pro franchise licenses, and we work all over the country, depending on wherever the disasters are, we are. So that's what I do on that end. And then
so hold on before you go any farther. I think to add value to the business owner piece, you should talk about a little bit how you started with Serve Pro, because I know your story, obviously, because I was with you when it happened, but a lot of people may not. Sure. And they see you now, obviously, with 2 houses, a podcast studio, a bunch of businesses, and don't necessarily know how little you lived or how menial you lived, for years to help build the success in the world. So, all
right, that's a good.
I think it's a good.
I think we got some time.
Yeah,
okay.
So
let me finish up what I do. I also do whiskey. That's a different episode. I'm going to talk about my whiskey business. But stay tuned. We've got whiskey coming out. We're gonna do some limited releases on that stuff. So we're launching that business. Really fucking exciting. Super passionate, and certainly beats the shit out of cleaning up shit water out of people's basements or hurricane debris.
A lot more fun than that.
It's certainly a lot more fun than that. So we do that, and then I also have I've got some other business. I've got some real estate stuff. Obviously we have the VRBO business, or the short-term rental business rather, which Lindy is going to do.
Is that the official? They don't do Verbos anymore, short-term rental?
No, so VRBO is just that website, and then there's Airbnb, and you could do like off the programs. Like I can rent the house to someone off of VRBO.
Sure.
And they call that the short-term rental, STR business. The short-term rental business is what we're in. VRBO is just kind of taking over like the Coke position of, soda or the Army position of the military. Sorry, Ian. Ian's a Navy guy and might have monkeypox.
Fucking semen.
Anyhow, I've got some, I do businesses.
You just slip that in there? Ian has monkeypox?
Well, the whole Navy thing. It was a Navy joke.
Oh, gotcha.
Gay joke, Sorry.
We know what goes on a submarine.
Right. Did I need to say that? Cut that out if that's going to get us turned off. If that's not going to get us turned off.
Or if that offends you, Ian.
Well, if it offends you. We got Ian's got a bird flying over there. The bird man. If that offends you, don't listen to the rest of this podcast, please.
Don't ever listen to this podcast.
Please hang up now and unsubscribe. If you've subscribed, unsubscribe, because if that offends you, you are fucked. Except for my mom. Sorry for the F word again, Mom. Anyway, so what I do is business stuff. How I got there.
Not necessarily there, because you were in business before.
Yeah. Yep.
But the Serpro is just like, I like the story and I know it, so I feel like it's...
how much of the story do you want me to tell?
I mean, I guess I was just...
Enough of it? Or short? I mean, the abridged version or unabridged?
I mean, we probably need to do abridged by now.
Ian's saying the abridged. All right. I'll try and do this, which I'm fucking terrible at. So I hope you don't have any more to talk about. I'll give you the abridged version, and then we'll do an episode maybe on that. If people like it, they'll tell us, and they want to hear more, we'll know, and maybe I'll talk more about it. All right. So how it happened? I was in the. I worked for somebody. I worked for a family member, Kunkel's business, Stonebrook Roofing. I left his company, went off, started my own company, sort of a spin-off of his, which didn't do it any justice. We did well, but we did roofing, gutters, gutter cleaning, siding, windows, new construction. We did anything. We were trying to hustle, and quickly we ended up into the restoration world on the construction side. So that became another.
So you had already done that before, Serpro?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I
didn't even know that part of the story.
I wonder the shit you're actually going to learn about me on this fucking podcast is. I wonder the shit you're going to learn about me on this podcast is, because I'm not a real good communicator. I know that's probably a shocker. I just like to talk about me, I guess, bro. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I went into the restoration world. My partner and I split up. That's another story that I will certainly love to fucking tell on this thing. Story. It's going to be awesome, that's for sure. That story. But we're going to skip that right now. I had a partnership that ended. It didn't end well. We parted ways. So I basically went. This was now the second time, which I'm giving the abridged version. So deal with me or bear with me here. That would be the second time that basically I just decided, hey, I'm going to pull the plug on this partnership as early. I mean, we were building a pretty solid business. And I didn't like the direction it was heading. So ultimately, I pulled the plug on it intentionally and was like, hey, I'm leaving this business because it wasn't going to work for me long term. Right. Ultimately, I made the decision. I called Lindy and said, hey, I'm thinking about leaving this and starting my own business before it's too late. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yep. Here we go again. So Lindy was already living. I lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. Lindy lived in Sioux City. So we basically, it's about 155, 160 mile, about 2.5 hour drive. We moved into an apartment there. She moved into an apartment there. And essentially I got rid of my half of the business, relinquished it, whatever. I actually still own half that business, by the way. Because that fucker never gave me my money anyway, not talking about that. Cut that fucking part out. Anyway, leave it. We basically decided, Lindy and I was going to go back to zero again. I sold my house. I took all of the equity that I had in my house, which was, I don't know, when it was all said and done, maybe 40 grand. Maybe that. And by the time we paid off all our expenses and paid off my shit and all the costs associated, I'm not sure what was left, but basically I took that money and I basically put it in a shoebox and said, all right, this is what we're going back to zero with. We moved our family into a 3-bedroom apartment in South Sioux City, Nebraska.
Shithole.
Dude, they had people like butchering fucking lambs in their closet. Like, it's a shithole. And since then,
specifically that apartment complex. Because I think South Sioux Cityans were like, what the fuck, dude? So,
Yeah. No, the place we were at was awful.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean,
It's
what am I
questionable.
South Sioux. There's a lot of shithole in South Sioux, but kind of a shithole apartment. I won't say it. Since then, we've done work there, and we didn't realize quite the extent of the shithole that it was. But moved into a shithole apartment. Decided, all right, we're gonna move our budget down. We know how to be broke, and we're gonna build a new business. So I was gonna start a business. Long story short, again, shorter than it could be. I knew I didn't want to be back in the roofing business. I knew I really liked the restoration business. I knew there was an opportunity there for some really dope ass margins. I knew that was a better business to be in for me than the roofing business. Also, when it rains in the roofing business, you lay in bed at night and you just sit there and fucking have a panic attack over when your phone's going to ring because the roofs are leaking. And when you're in the disaster restoration business, you lay in bed at night and when it rains and you just go, I can't wait till all those fucking roofing companies call us tomorrow. So kind of a dig there too at the roofer guys. Anyhow, so long story short, I started smiling and dialing. I knew I didn't want to be an independent. So I went and I started looking up businesses, and I found a franchise rather. And I found a ServPro that was in Sioux City, looked like it was closed. So I picked up the phone. I was looking at other franchise opportunities. That was just the one I was most familiar with. Called and said, hey, so I called and the guy answers, ServPro's Ken. And I was like, ugh. Hey, Ken. I don't know what to say because I thought you were going to be closed, but my name is Matt and I'm new in town and I'm actually looking for opportunities to potentially become a competitor. So sorry, I didn't know if you were closed or if that was an opportunity. He was like, well, we're still in business, but I'm for sale. And I was like, whoa.
What are the odds of that?
Well, my initial thought was, sounds like
why be a competitor? Just own this fucking shithole.
Well, my initial thought was, a business that looks like it's fucking closed is for sale. It's probably a business I don't want to buy. And then I thought I'm like, well, if you don't mind me asking, why you selling? Just started chatting with him. And he says, because I've been doing this for 35 fucking years and I'm tired. And I was like, okay, 30 years?
Solid point, sir.
All right, I'm tired. He's an older guy. All right, well, let's link up. And he connected me with somebody else. And then a day or two later, him and I went and met at Smiles with Miles. We went to Miles Inn.
Yeah.
Had a fucking, He had a Budweiser and I had a whiskey. Go figure. And we chatted about a deal. Ultimately, I didn't have enough money to buy it. And again, roundabout way, shorter than the story could be. I let the guy get to know me. I built a little bit of trust with him and I said, I can't buy your fucking business, but I really want to. My options are you have to finance me or I can't buy it. And he basically said, well, how am I going to protect my interest in this? And I said, well, first of all, you're not going to be able to fully protect your interest in this. So it's going to take a good bit of trust, but I'll keep your name on the account. Like I'll open up my, everything to you. I'll give you some interest and back it up. And we made the fucking deal. And
it was over from there.
Yeah.
Long story short, dude, you lucked into a franchise that you
Called
turned
at the
into
right
a fucking
time.
almost closed business to 8 ServPro.
Yeah.
8 ServPros
Yep.
later.
Yep. 5 years and eight ServPros later. Yeah. So we built that thing. Yeah. So you said luck, which makes me want to jump over the table
such thing.
and punch you in the face twice. But I know what you meant because we've had this conversation. We just had this conversation, but yeah, luck, man. It's an opportunity that is given to anyone. Could have had that opportunity. Anyone. I just went on a rant the other day on this. Anyone could have an opportunity. Luck is not even a thing to me. I mean, I understand that happenstance and some people have these opportunities happen to them more, whatever. I think there's just people that recognize it. I said it the other day. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. I had been preparing for that moment for a business to buy and learning that somebody else can finance you. And that's up to my likability, my trustability, my salesmanship certainly played a part in it. My ability to negotiate. Like I've been doing that my whole life. That was just another opportunity that I had. Am I the most lucky person on earth? No, but I fucking get prepared. I study this shit. I'm a problem solver. And listen, the process to buy my first Serve Pro, there were times where even I was like, it ain't gonna fucking happen. The odds are way too stacked against, like to the point, like it's not luck. The odds, any normal ass person would have walked away from that deal and said, well, I can't make it happen. Serve Pro said no to me 3 times. Serve Pro told me no 3 different times at the highest level. The owner and operator at the time, Randy Isaacson, disapproved my shit. And I basically was like, well, here's what we're going to have to do. Ken and I had to get Ken Seeley, the guy who I bought it from.
Bless his heart. We love Ken.
We love Ken so much.
Is he still on the payroll?
I'm not going to put his business out there, but Ken is retired, and we still take care of Ken. Because, dude, Ken...
that's the kind of people you are. That's why.
And that's the kind of people he was. He took a gamble on us, and since then he became... like he's my dad's age. He became kind of like a dad. There she Lindy, goes. Man. Yeah. It gets me too. He's a good guy.
It's a great story, dude.
It's
a great story.
It is. And ultimately
the dynamic between you guys is pretty incredible.
Ken took care of me and took a gamble on me. So I feel I've paid him. I actually paid him off from everything that I owed him. He financed me on part of it, or on mostly all of it. Gave me a hell of a deal. I had him paid off in 6 months. And from that moment on, I was able to just continue to reinvest on our personal side.
We lived off of my income for a very long time. He didn't take a paycheck for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So
18 months.
Ramen noodles, mac and cheese for a while.
Yeah, like people, I'm fucking telling you, like we did, before Gary Vee was on this shit, before like all these fuckers were understanding what was going on, I was telling people, Zach, you remember, sell your house. It's a liability. I don't give a shit if you think it's your best asset. It's your liability. It's your only fucking major liability you can't get rid of. Sell your house, free up your time, free up any extra income, and invest that shit. I understand you're throwing away money, but what people don't understand is that when you get into a 30-year mortgage on an FHA loan or a VA loan where you had no money down and you're sitting at a 5.5%, 6% or 4.5%, whatever interest rate, front loaded on a fucking 30-year note, it's going to take you 15 years to pay off $1 of that principal.
Right.
Like you're not saving any money. You're just wasting your money giving it to the bank. Instead, waste your money to give it to a landlord, and then they deal with all the upkeep. They deal with the decoration part. They deal with, when the garage door breaks, $1,300 isn't coming out of your account when your basement floods. Like I deal in disasters. So it's super easy for me to see what the costs associated with home ownership is. Dude, I've got receipts. I was on my social media before Gary Vee ever said, sell your fucking house. I was already subscribed to that shit. And that's what we did. We cut all of our expenses, told Lindy, hey, I'm going to have to do this opportunity. Like, I'm going to have to spend all our money. And she's like, my exact words were, I'm going to have to empty our account again. And she goes, which account? And I'm like, which account? Well, yours has like fucking $82 in it. So not that account.
Still does.
Yeah.
That's why we don't share money.
Yeah. And which account? The only account with fucking money in it. Like, I'm going to have to go broke again. Here we go.
But I think that's the great message in this episode specifically, because so many young entrepreneurs want it to happen overnight. Like, there's no patience in the game. That. So you have to live small and continue to build. Because there's probably people that don't know you that look at what you have now and like, well, fuck, must
Trust
be nice.
Fund, baby.
Yeah, sure.
Must be nice, and don't understand the work that you put in to get there. So.
Well, yeah. It was a plan. I mean, specifically, Lindy said, okay, I told her the plan. Here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to move into this apartment. We're going to sell the house. We're going to manage that for as long as we can. And then when we get that money, whatever money we have, I'm going to reinvest it. Here's what we have to do. And this is how long it's going to take. And she's like, for how long? And I said, plan on 5 years in the apartment. If you can give me 5 years of living, dude, we moved from a 4,000 square foot house in the Knolls on a golf course to a fucking 3-bedroom apartment in South Sioux City, Nebraska. Like, it was a major lifestyle change for us.
What I love about the story, and you didn't even mention it, was when you guys bought the boat.
Oh, yeah. All right. So
you bought the boat, and I'll tell my part, and then you get specific.
Perfect.
But the way I understand it is Lindy wanted to get a boat, and you said, we can get the boat, but that's going to extend this plan another 2 to 3 years down the road. And
there will be no vacations. There will be no house.
You have a boat, so
we got the boat.
We know what happened there. But
we will continue to live in an apartment if you want a boat. Do you want fun? Do you want fun for a while, or do you want a house?
Good choice, by the way.
Yeah. So I pitched it to her. So my poor wife, and here's where this is probably Lindy's first like bit of truth where she finds out that I do lie to her, and I'm sorry. So I made her think. So we had looked at this boat. We were on the river on our old boat, which was part of the formula, by the way. I literally sold everything and I bought a boat. Okay, sold my house. I took out a loan for a boat and said, if I can make these payments and insurance at like $200 and something a month, okay, that could literally be our entire expense, or our entire fund budget can be that. So then we can literally just go, right. We bring our own snacks. It's cheap. It's free. And my family could live like we're doing something fun. We just, being a river rat is not fucking expensive.
And it was a blast.
And it was the best fucking time. Right. It was the best. It was the best move ever. So while we were on the river, we see this badass double-decker pontoon burning up the river with a slide on it. So, of course, I start Googling shit. I'm like, I want that fucking boat. Yeah. Fucking $100,000 or whatever it was. And I'm like, oh, that ain't gonna work. So anyway, I find one, wheel and deal, get a really good, rate on what it could be. And then I pitch it to Lindy. She's like, oh my God, we need to do that. Long story shorter than it could be, I made her believe that I had like some magical budget for this time frame, but I was really just behind on what it was. So I saw this as an opportunity to hustle enough, because we were coming up on that 3-year fast track.
More incentive to work hard. Yeah.
Right. So I told Lindy, I used it as an excuse. And I was like, all right, so if we buy this, that's going to set us back another 2 years. So you have to commit to another 2 years in the apartment. She's like, 2 years on top of the 2 years that we have left in the apartment? I'm like, yes. So we're going from 2 years from now, we're out of this thing. I need you to commit to 4 more years, maybe 5 more. And she was like, what? Oh, shit. And I'm like, yeah, the decision is yours. What is? And she's like, all right, boat. And I'm like, what? Yes. Shit, now I got to buy a fucking, oh no. But I did buy myself another fucking 2 years in the apartment on that, which we didn't end up needing. I think we got out of there in
I think 7 years we spent in an apartment, which is mind-blowing. But
yeah, no, 7 years including the townhouse.
Right.
So, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did upgrade a little bit.
Yep. So we went from the shithole in South Sioux. We were there for 1 year, and it was awful.
To a decent apartment in the dunes.
Right. To a much more decent apartment in the dunes. We were the poorest of the rich folks in the dunes. They didn't realize we were in the apartment in the dunes.
Yeah, you were the slum of the dunes.
We were the slum of the dunes, yeah.
I was there too for a minute. So
That's right.
You were.
That's right. So, and then we spent 5 years in the apartment.
Yeah.
And then in our 5th year, Cora, we got pregnant with Cora.
Baby.
Yep. And I was nice enough to upgrade my family to a fucking rental townhouse. In fact, I'd probably still be renting a fucking townhouse right now if it wasn't for the pandemic. The only reason we bought a house is because I knew that with any kind of major economic downturn, I know what happens. The housing market goes fucking crazy. So basically I was like, shit.
Now's the time.
If I don't fucking buy a house now, like it won't happen. So the only reason we bought that house, otherwise I subscribe to the rent until you can afford to pay cash for your house model, because, and I would say that's never, because you should never have enough fucking cash.
Yeah, get rid of that shit.
Cash is trash. That's what's his fuck?
Reinvest.
What's that dude's name that says cash is trash? He's kind of douchey, rich dude, billionaire.
Is it the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy?
No, that's Kiyosaki. Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone. I knew his name. I just drew a blank because I'm dumb. Grant Cardone says cash is trash. And I understand what he means, which is you shouldn't be holding on to cash. Rich people don't have any cash, man. They're using debt to get rich. They're using your money. There's another saying, the poor people put their money in the bank so the rich people can borrow it, which is true. Think about it. Yep. Think about it.
Think about it.
Yeah. Well, I won't go into that. What was your question? Did I answer your question? I don't remember what the fuck you asked.
Yeah, you answered it.
Oh, the boat. Lindy, why'd you make that decision? We've got some time. Why'd you make that decision?
To do the boat?
Yeah.
Because my mind is different from yours. My mind is always on vacation and it's always on fun. That's been the joke of our marriage for years because I'm always planning our next vacation. I'm always planning something for the weekend up ahead because I like fun and I like spending time with my friends and my kids and doing everything together. So if I know I have an open weekend, something's getting booked. I don't want to sit. I don't want to relax.
Dude, there'll be times Lindy texts us at like 5 o'clock because she doesn't have a plan that night. Hey, you guys just want to come over, please? Yeah. Please, God, don't make me stay here alone with Matt.
Dude, the other side of that is the one day that I have off, she's got to jam it full of something.
Yep, always.
And I'm like, can't we just clean? Can't we just do the dishes?
Can't we just clean the garage? No.
Yeah.
No, that's not fun.
That's why everything's a fucking disaster. And Lindy's always having fun.
But we're always having fun.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah.
You're a good time though. You're a good time.
Thanks, bro. Well, Lindy, we've got a shot clock, like a timer that Lindy's got with her countdown on her retirement.
Oh, yes.
I am very nervous about the amount of,
social events you're going to have to attend.
Get ready.
And I'm most people, so here's kind of another little thing for subscribers and viewers and listeners, people who don't know me. People who know me really close know this, but I'm like a super fucking introvert and I hate.
Which no one ever believes when you tell them.
Right. No one ever fucking believes it. The truth is, I don't want to be around people. I get very nervous. I get very anxious. I just have to fucking overcome it because that's just, it's life.
You do well.
I do well, and I think it's because I do so well at just saying fuck it. Even though sometimes I'm very fucking weird. Like I see people and they're probably expecting me to be this big personality, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Matt. Good to see you. Gotta go. See you later. I'm fucking super weird. But the truth is, I hate the spotlight. I don't want any attention on me. I fucking hate having small talk. Is the worst thing on the if you want to talk about like a big fucking goal or a big dream or something, like cool, I'm down. But like small talk, how's the family? How are the kids? How's the, did you want to go?
Weather was crazy Sunday.
Fucking, how about those Huskers? Don't even, please, God, don't. I can't even wear a fucking Dolphins hat anymore. I used to wear Yankees hats all
this year. They're good.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it anyway.
Wants to talk about it.
Right. Now it's even fucking worse. Cash told somebody out to dinner the other night. We were at a sports bar with the kids. Lindy was out of town. And Cash was cheering for the fucking Steelers. For whatever reason that was. He's a bandwagon rider. He said to the guy, we were a Dolphins fan, and I was like, no, don't tell him that. Sure enough, the fucker rolls his chair on over because we're on rolly chairs.
How about Tua?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm not your guy. Please don't fucking talk to me about football. I don't know anything about it. Which was part of that whole thing. Kind of a segue from last episode to this episode. I cut off football. It didn't make my purpose list. It didn't make the list of shit that I'm going to give my attention to. So now I feel like a total chick. Lindy knows more about football than I do.
This is our biggest conflict sometimes is I want all the people. I want to hang out with everyone. I want to give to everyone. I want to do everything and be with everyone at all times. Obviously, you and our kids, but I just want everyone with us and our kids all the time. And you are the opposite. So that's really like, let's go Saturday. Let's go. And
that's why
blah,
I feel
blah, blah.
so honored to be in Matt's inner circle. Because he'll let us come over whenever.
Anytime. It's not it's not that I don't like the people. It's just, it's me. Like, you know, that it's me. It's not you. Like, whatever. Anyway, the point is, I'm not what you think. I'm more of a fucking introvert. One of the dudes at the country club, Allie's the pro at the golf course. He said, "Oh, an introverted extrovert? I could see that." And I'm like, yeah, I am kind of an introverted extrovert. I'm not an introvert, but I feel like it a lot of times. So anyway, the Army was one thing that I wanted to talk about on your on our way out of here today. Was enough about me and the shit that I do. We've had some vaccine stuff going on in the Army. One of the other questions that we got asked was, it was, are you and Lindy, but I'm not going to get into my story, is Lindy going to make or going to be able to retire or get kicked out? Whatever the question was. Are you going to get kicked out of the Army for your vaccine? So I figured we'll, before we wrap this thing, I'll give you a chance to answer that. And then Zach can take us home. Take me to church. So are they going to kick you out, honey? That's the question.
Well, as far as I know right now, no. Which I don't know much because I haven't heard anything. So
news is good news.
Yeah, I submitted an exemption over a year ago. They have asked me, a series of times how, different questions about the exemption. So I know they're looking at it. But is it possible? It's always possible. Anything's possible, especially in the Army. I thought I was sanctuaried after 18 years. Turns out the vaccine is not a part of that. They can still...
It's fucking bullshit.
They can still kick me out. I think I'm going to be okay because in 6 months, I'm done. So I'll be on terminal leave.
Drop that retirement. Hopefully the Army will just be like, fuck it, she's almost done.
I have already dropped my retirement packet. So I think I'm in the clear. I'm just never 100% sure.
Yeah. So the answer to your question is we don't know, but things are looking positive for you to be able to make it. That's if...
So to clarify, though, for the novice, non-Army person, the Army mandated vaccines for every soldier.
Yes.
And that's the predicament Lindy's in currently.
Yeah. Which
she has an exemption to not get it submitted and has not heard anything about that particular exemption.
Correct. And so I don't think they're going to fuck. So here's my thoughts. So here, I won't get all too fucking conspiracy crazy on you, but so there's a couple buckets. Number one, we've got the religious exemption request that you are allowed to submit. We have a medical exemption request that you are allowed to submit. And then you have a refusal where the Army was...
isn't really an exemption.
Right.
Just telling the Army to fuck off.
Right. Which is the route that I took. And I took that route because in order for me to make a smart, educated decision on whether or not I was going to submit a religion... First of all, I have medical reservations on this. Okay. I have religious reservations on this fucking vaccine. Obviously, anyone who fucking knows me knows that. I also have moral reservations on this, which where does that fall in? Number four, like, how about just give me the information? Like you can't answer the question. When you can't answer a simple enough question, like, what does fully vaccinated mean? Or what is the outcome if I say no or refuse? Or what is the... And it's all very vague. Anyhow, the leadership who counseled me on this, who counseled me, not great counseling, because they didn't know, and it wasn't them. They're just doing what they're told, like everybody, all the other little sheep. Ooh, just do what I'm told, as the shepherd tells me. Anyhow, I think that Lindy's going to make it. So the answer to that question, from my perspective, I think that Lindy's going to make it because I don't think they want to process people. I think this was a data collection operation, an exercise that they ran.
Also, idle threat.
Idle threats.
A test also to see.
I think they wanted to know who's who. I think they're trying to purge. I'm calling it the Patriot purge. I know many are. I think they're trying to purge the insubordinate, the people who will stand on a moral ground of putting a fucking test drug knowingly in your body for no reason, no potential outcomes of this, untested, unapproved bullshit drug that we now know doesn't fucking work for a virus that we've already had. Like, it isn't going to prevent me from getting the virus because I already fucking had it. Like, and now we know, obviously, here we go. We're certainly getting kicked off of this. Yeah, we know now it doesn't prevent you from getting the fucking shit anyway, which we said all along. And they knew that, dude. If I knew that and I was 100% confident and scientists knew it and people knew it, they fucking knew it.
But the shitty thing is the CDC came out with all that after the fact and the Army just doubled down. Like, well,
it's a scam.
I understand the CDC said this, but
Listen,
you're still getting it.
Listen to what they did. They have the people who are patriots, who they're political opponents, the MAGA extremists, the MAGA Republicans, the people in their political enemy, the same people that the president of the United States called MAGA extremists, the MAGA Republicans are the ones that are unvaccinated. They're the same. Okay? They're the same people. They found a way through this to isolate their political opponents for the most part. Sure, there's a Democrat in there that's unvaccinated in the Army, a few. But 95%, I'm guessing, and I bet it's more than that, 99% of the people who refuse the vaccine are our current administration's political opponents. They're non-voters. Okay, they found a way to get a purge, to purge the military without saying we're purging political opponents out of the armed forces. Why are they doing that? Well, I don't know. I guess there's a fucking 100 different ways. Why do I think they're doing it? Because when they fucking enact martial law, when they turn the United States Armed Forces on its own citizens, the armed forces has to be completely or way majority comprised of the opposing viewpoint.
But the vaccine isn't the line anymore, though, man. Because
the vaccine was never the line, bro. It was all they did was collect the data.
So people separate it that way. If you got vaccinated, you're on this side. If you didn't get vaccinated, you're on this side.
Oh, bro, you fucking
That's not the line anymore, right? Because everybody has realized it was all bullshit to begin with. Like, especially in career fields where it was do it or you're fired.
Well, no, dude, they did this.
A lot of people weren't gonna give up their livelihoods, and just. Obliged and did it. I'm in that category, right?
Yep.
They threatened to kick me out. Me and my wife talked about our options and decided that was probably not the option we wanted. So that's not the line anymore. Because there's people that are vaccinated that are not on the bullshit anymore, right?
Yep.
So, I mean,
I see what you're saying. So what you're saying
is... point is, my point is there's people that are vaccinated that are not for that.
Right. Okay, I got what you're saying. So, But here's what they did. They got the initial. That's what I'm saying. Like, this was never about the vaccine. They knew it didn't work. How can I know it didn't work, but they didn't, bro? They were lying. It was a narrative. Okay. They knew it didn't work. I told them that vaccine doesn't work. I don't even know if it's actually a vaccine, and I've already had the virus. Why do I need the vaccine? If someone can tell me why I need to get these antibodies when I already have, science tells me I already have protection from this. Okay. I already had it and I got super sick. It's a thing of the past. Okay. They knew they had a line of people that were willing to do it. Number one, under pressure, force, coercion. Google the definition of the word force. Coercion. You were forced into taking an unproven drug, and they're forcing it on our children through coercion, okay? And then they have people who were willing to do it under pressure and scrutiny, later under counseling and the threats of the UCMJ. And then they have people who are willing to do it with an exception. And then they've got these hard-nosed group of people who just said no. Like, dude, they have so much information, they forced us into doing it on a memorandum for record. So literally, we have to forfeit our right to remain silent, our Fifth Amendment right, to forfeit that, which is, by all accounts, from what I've been told, it's not a right that we forfeit when we enlist into the Army or into the armed forces. They're forcing us to break our silence, and in counseling, they're not giving us the information we need to make a good, sound decision. And I have 47 of like 52 or 51 unanswered questions from my counseling. I literally wrote down 51 questions, I think was the number.
Love that.
That I had. And 47 of them the commander and or the sergeant major could not answer. They just punted. They were like, I don't know. Yeah, it depends, or this, that. And like 3 of the ones that were answered, or 2 of the ones that were answered were, if I had to guess. Right. So they didn't know the answer to like all but 2 of my questions. And even then, I think they were all bullshit, and it wasn't their fault. They're just doing what they're told. Anyhow, I digress. Dude, it was an information gathering exercise so they can isolate their political opponents, the radical Trump supporters, the ones that are extremists, isolate us, and then quietly force us out of the military. And now they're comprised of all people that under pressure will adhere to their guidance for the most part. And the rest, they'll deal with you one-off. Like, yeah, there's people who have, that line has moved, the goalpost has moved for sure. But my stance hasn't moved, and the people who chose what I chose to not get it, we're still holding firm. And then there's these other bucket of people that these are the maybes, but these are all the Trumps. These are the extremists, bro. These are the MAGA ideology. These are the ones that they're giving us a title. These are the ones that. These are the ones that. These are the ones that end up in the ones that end up in camps, the ones that end up killed in a genocide first. We all do. But these are the ones that they separate out. The enemy, bro. We are the fucking enemy to this president. He told us. And in the military, they did the same thing with, check this out. Them to do this purge in the military, them to do this purge in the, we knew it, dude. When I saw when I saw them going after the police, I went, the military's next. I knew it. They're going to fucking divide the police department and purge all of the patriots out of the police department. They're going to divide all of the healthcare. Can you imagine our local, our homeland security, our border patrols, our healthcare, and now our United States Armed Forces is going to be controlled by the vaccinated? That's the kind of shit we are in. There are so few of us who fucking were able to stand up and hold firm on this. And now they have purged these career fields, like ones that we are dependent on for this. Anyway, I digress. I don't know how much of that's going to make the final cut.
But as I said before, a lot of people that initially got the vaccine are now, if they could go back in time, would never have done it.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, fuck yeah. Go what were you going to say, babe?
That's what I was going to say. Half of the people who just decided that it would be easier just to get it instead of submitting an exemption, and we're here and haven't been kicked out yet, but yeah.
Well, we'll fucking see, dude, because if you think this is the last time this fucking is going to come down, if we don't do something major in the midterms, and I'm not super hopeful, like I hate to be a negative Nancy, but if something major, like I'm not talking.
Go vote.
Yeah, vote fucking Republican, and I mean, dude, I guess there's some freedom fighters out there on the Democrat ticket. Probably not. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, but their Democrat Party, DNC's not allowing them to fucking run. You're going to have to do this through the Republican Party, and you're going to have to sift through who the bullshit Republicans are. And it's not just Republican.
Those ones are all...
Right. I mean, the primaries, dude, were so fucking important.
If only we had more libertarians.
Yeah, we will be.
They're
soon.
all for freedom.
Yeah, the freedom fighters, dude. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how we're going to get out of this. But vote for patriots. Vote for people who don't give a shit what your position on abortion is, but are able to see through what the abortion conversation created, which is a whole bunch of fucking divide and fucking anger towards each other. When the reality is, a pro-life and a pro-choice are probably, besides the radical nut jobs that just believe what the useful idiots, the talking heads for the points that they're, spoon fed through the fucking media and whoever else.
We can get into all that stuff as we go.
Dude, it's going to be a lot. But anyhow, fun episode. I don't know. There's going to be some
good talk.
Yeah. I enjoyed having you, honey. You definitely made the episode better. Yeah. So next
stop being mad, boring each other to death anymore.
Dry eyes. Welcome to my Benstein's whiskey.
Wow. Isn't that what he did? Wow.
So dumb.
Dry eyes.
Plus, you're super easy on the eyes.
Now my head is getting bigger.
You're so beautiful, Lindy.
We're pumping you up. Maybe we pour one more before we close. Anyway, I'm going to pour one more this way I can force into staying. But
I am not pouring it.
Yeah, I'll stay for a minute.
In the meantime, pour your own. I can't read.
We can shut the recording off, though.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Well, let's close this thing out.
Hey, go to YouTube. Go
Or
to Spotify.
Spotify now.
Yes.
We dare.
Yeah. Thanks
it.
for joining us on the Protect Your Purpose podcast. Again, I'm your host, Matt Marchese, my co-host, Zach, the graybeard Grady. I like graybeard Grady and my lovely
Kind of
wife.
rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, the graybeard Grady and my
Thanks
lovely
for
wife.
joining
Lindy.
us.
The beautiful Lindy Marchese, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye,
Stay
guys.
tuned for some giveaways and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Boom!
Deuces.
I'm going to give away some more shit. I can't wait.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I got to end it every time.
Woo!
That's a good one.
Good job, guys.